she talks to us about data networks and a little bit of how her startup can improve the data pipeline and how is this like the building foundation for DePIN.
Right, thank you so much. Also, thank you for the laptop, amazing. Welcome here at the session. I really love crypto networks, and I'm in crypto because of Berlin since 2013. I actually teach cryptography at one of the Berlin universities, so I would love to reach out for any type of collaboration. Also, as part of BirdChain, we host industry days where we intersect DePIN, crypto startups, and the city in this case, or maybe even industrial players. So if you're interested in any sort of building something together, approach me after the session. Today we will be talking about trusted data networks. I will be talking about foundational layers of networking. I think it's extremely important because the more we do research in how our today's internet is built, and we try to put all these amazing things on top, I think it's very interesting also connecting, I'm not sure you visited the first session on the main stage, right, to the useful and persistent reliable systems. If you ever did research on networking, the moment you look into how it's working today, it's actually sometimes very scary. So I just do like this, right? Okay. Let me take you on my journey. So 2013, I was doing a PhD in computer security at the Technical University of Berlin. And we've been doing a ton of research on how to secure networks, how to secure systems. And honestly, I wasn't one of the kind of most prominent chairs that also collaborated with a lot of white hackers. Also even, going into the gray hacking and black hacking extent. So my personal learning was just to understand, like it was 2013, I guess back in the days, all the information about the, how the crime is structured wasn't really there. So just by learning how, which systems have been built, like for instance, hackers have better SLAs than, normal companies on the internet, it's insane. Like the way they operate, the way they work 24/7, non-stop. And so what I learned is that we are always running behind, because if you take a typical engineer, 5 to 7 job, and we kind of compete with people that are extremely incentivized because for, one day of work, they get millions of dollars. We are always on the losing end. And so I started to kind of, think about, we are in the Cypherpunk session. What are we going towards? What are we marching towards? We're building AI systems that we don't really know how they work, right? We build the connected world in the same time, all the machines, etc., that we want to automate. And I was just thinking about some funny scenarios, right? Like in Berlin, there is this Siegessäule, like the roundabout. Even if you just put some little robots on this roundabout, you can create a mess in the whole city just because of traffic jam and all these things. Let alone the things like if the hackers actually break into our energy systems, public transportation systems, etc. So the problems actually lie in if you ever build, that's why DePIN is very scary in some sense, because it actually intersects a lot of topics, like DeFi is there, right? We have to build the tokens, we have to build connected systems, and we have to build connectivity for machines. So what does it mean? On average, building a DePIN service or building any type of connected device service, the builder has to integrate with 18 different systems. You have to build remote access, you have to build connectivity, you have to build physical security, you have to build, app for your humans. So it's very complicated, and if you think it through, the margins in the market are very, very low. So it's extremely complicated market. For every integration, I don't have to tell you, right? It's very, very expensive, any type of systems that you integrate. On top, what we learned in Germany, a lot of people connecting their devices to the internet, they somehow forget that it's like open, free network where also, all the hackers actually there, right? And they're luring for every device come online with on average 5,000 attacks that are, getting into every connected device per month on average. It was like an institutional research that they put a honeypot and actually counted how much attacks are happening. So that's why we don't see a lot of connected projects out there. That's why DePIN also struggles a lot. So it's a whole bunch of problems that are, put into one certain things, certain topics. So it's extremely complicated. We started this research, just a little historical background, in telecom. We were part of the research lab on Enschreuterplatz, which was co-located with Technical University of Berlin. We love networking. I'm super passionate about how distributed systems are built. And so that's where we developed Staex, with the basic idea of creating really simple network that can stack together for the builder that is building the connectivity, the blockchain connectivity, the SIM card connectivity, and the networking per se as a VPN. So that at least for these builders, we can fuse the lower level of networking and just give them access to a simple, secure thing. So not only it's the vision is to build a reliable connectivity, but also, so we are the first one actually that turned around the market, and we said, well, let's build something really distributed. So basically, we have this paradigm shift where every device is sovereign. So we kind of copied the SSI model for the networks, and we say every device it's called autonomous economic agent that is now having a set of keys and can actually act on someone's behalf. And why is it so exciting? Because again, coming back to the first talk that was happening on the main stage, you can now serve multi-stakeholder systems just because you don't have the lockup into your cloud environment. Because what happens today, people gather the data into the clouds, and then they're like, well, I don't know how to share this data with IBM. We actually ran a project with IBM when we, got the data being part of telecom in our cloud, and then we, spent 6 months building a connector between two clouds. Maybe someone, doesn't know it, but it was a shock for me, right? We were building internet for interconnected systems. So it's extremely interesting landscape. And of course, AI modeling. So as soon as we have trusted data, we can prove the authenticity and integrity of what is actually coming in. We actually can start at least saying, well, at least it has been built on trusted data. Now, so what we're building, one of the things that Staex is building, you're also welcome to join our project. We actually putting our modules on mobility ecosystem in North Rhine-Westphalia. We're currently running on a 100 buses fleet. It's the first of its kind project. So in this project, while turning the buses into autonomous economic agents, all of these actors, it's very simple for us because we multi-stream the data. Because as soon as it has been signed on the bus, on the point of creation, we have absolutely no problems to stream it towards anyone. So we don't have this problem of building the bridges between the clouds itself. So how it's done, it's actually super simple. What Staex is, it's a network of wallets. Every bus has a wallet. Basically, it's a private and public key. And we looked into the internet. On today's internet, you also need a wallet. Actually, everybody has a wallet in their computer, pre-built in their browser. So it's a permission system where the companies like ICANN decide who is eligible to play on the internet, right? If you kind of philosophically look into how it has been structured. So what we're doing at Staex, I think personally it's enormously complicated to tell you now what will happen in 20 years, right? How the whole smart city, autonomous devices will work. So what we do, we copied a lot from how the internet is working already, and we're adding up Web3 functionality with multi-stakeholder, autonomous economic agent capabilities to make sure that at least the knowledge that has been built before is used for the future, because a lot of use cases for sure are not predictable. So what we're doing, we are assigning the data on the bus. What is it for? There are two types of data today. One is the incident data. I'm going to cover it in the next slide. Another one is the stream data. So we basically help the bus companies to collect CO2 emission data, to connect passenger data. It's extremely important because they have to report it to the city. Second, they actually get paid based on how many passengers they transported and how many kilometers they drove. So today you can imagine you have like 150 buses, they all were driving somewhere. It's super complicated to manually put it all together, like how many kilometers I actually drove. also not speaking about when they get on the table with the contractor, they get paid based on this kilometers, so they have to actually somehow prove that the way they counted these kilometers is trusted. So really complicated today. So extremely happy to actually help the industry there. We streamline the data on chain. So they get automatically the link on public chains that they can send to their contractual partners, they can send to their cities, and it's all pre-built in the network. So they basically have metering service inside the network. We do showcase it for them, so some of the nodes have the UI and dashboarding that they can actually look into their numbers. But essentially when we sign the data, we basically send the hash and the signature for integrity and authenticity. On chains, we work with multiple chains. We're actually also working on a telemetry standard for smart cities, where we want to enforce multi-chain writing requirements for criticality of the application. So what is, just to summarize what I was talking about, what are we building? There are two main event streams at Staex. First, we help the industry to navigate in the, so to say, zoo of blockchains. We basically abstract it for them. They just get the automatically resolvable links. We stream the telemetry data on chain. What does it mean? Like if incidents have happened, or they have to do some sort of counting, they always get a proof. Like for instance, one of our customers, they do snow cleaning in winter. So they have to prove every second of the GPS. They have a cleaning event of the machine that the what is it? The booster, the cleaning for which was touching the ground, and that the car was at this exact GPS. So there's two kind of correlation data points. They have to provide at the court when they, somebody fall down and sued them. This is the data that they really have to collect, right? And the other one is what is actually Staex on chain ourselves. We are certificate authority, Web3 certificate authority. So basically, it's again rebuilding the internet today. Today's CAs, there are like 12 major DNS root nodes on the internet. But we want to democratize it. Basically, everybody can sell certification to devices and participate in this economy, because this is a huge market. So what is extremely exciting when we do telemetry today? So we first started with 10 buses. We were super blown away because we generate around 750,000 transactions per day with 10 buses working for 10 hours. I've never seen the data, even in any DeFi app, you don't get these numbers. So why I'm brought this slide, because now we have customers in India and Latin America. The numbers are insane. If we really are serious about building DePIN and smart cities and Web3, now that we talk to blockchains, the majority of them telling, oh my God, you're going to fill up all of our blocks. Even with 100 buses, right? We didn't even start yet. So I've never seen it before. We would always kind of propagate that DePIN will create a lot of transactions. That's the next big wave. But I just seeing these numbers myself, and it's just for 4 data points, just for this very simple CO2 passenger count, etc. So we have to be very kind of serious of what we're building, because I think personally, if we really are serious about building connected smart cities, the amount of data will be insane. So what is it what is the prime use case? Today I call it the inside and the outside. So inside we track the safety. Basically, if something happens in the bus, we record it on chain. Today they have to stop the bus, call the police. The bus cannot work for a certain amount of hours. The police comes, there is a special key. They have to take out the hard drive, really insane. So I think really nice use case for blockchain. And of course, any type of bus line violation, so we can recognize plates of the cars that are parking. Not only the bus has the proof why they came late, but also the guy who was parking on the bus lane gets the fine right away. Last topics, just to say we're extremely happy about the things that are happening. We don't have in Europe a concrete crypto push. However, regulation like EU Data Act, all of a sudden they need trusted data. I think it's exciting for all of us working in this landscape. And European blockchain service infrastructure, Probably you haven't been intersecting with this, but we foresee it will be pushed a lot as a requirements, and a lot, like the industry is really looking into this. So it's also super, super exciting for all of us, because we really started feeling that the industry is looking into this. And not only this is talk, we did like a little research what is happening now in Germany and city of Vienna. And I think the most important part that I wanted to show, we kind of looked into where they're looking into, and they already all use AI and Web3, so they at least like look into these topics, which is extremely exciting times for everybody who's working in DePIN. That's pretty much it. If you're interested in any type of collaboration, just shoot me an email. Also find me on LinkedIn. Thank you so much also for your laptop.